Hi guys, it's me Jay, and I'm glad that you could join me for another video where I'll be sharing my wish list for this 2023. And I apologize in advance for how I look. It's freezing right now, so bear with me. So I'm starting off with the philodendrons because this is the biggest in the list. So first off is the philodendron imperial red, and why I like this is it's kind of similar to the philodendron Birkin and their growth structure as well as the leaves, but this one has a bit of a longer leaf shape, and instead of the white leaves, the new leaves emerging as white, this one comes out red first and then it turns green as it matures. So I'm excited to have this in my collection. And next up is the philodendron bilietiae, is how it's pronounced, I think. This one has a very much elongated dark green leaf. I've seen pictures of these where they can get really long. I think it's a very worthy addition to my plant collection because there isn't any plant that has that long leaf structure. So excited for that one. Next is the philodendron caramel, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a certain cultivar of the serratum, philodendron serratum. And what I like about this plant is it has this V-shaped leaves with serrated edges. And this specific cultivar has reddish new leaves, kind of similar to the imperial red. But this one has the added feature of looking like a tooth saw or something. And I think it's a very decent alternative to the philodendron narrow, which is not available here. And next up is the philodendron Florida green, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is a hybrid of the philodendron squamiferum and the pedatum. The squamiferum is available here, but they look almost identical with the Florida green. As it stands, I think I'm leaning more to the Florida green. I feel like it doesn't make sense to get both since they look very similar anyways. So if any of you guys have experience with both plants or either of them, let me know which one you'd recommend. And the next philodendron is the philodendron verrucosum, which, of course, it's so beautiful. This big heart leaf shape, striking veinations and velvety texture. This is just so gorgeous. However, I have heard that this is a bit of a more challenging plant to take care of, so I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm scared that I might not be able to take care of it properly or adequately enough to keep it beautiful. So I'm calling verrucosum owners. Tell me, should I go or should I skip? And the last philodendron on my list is the philodendron tortum, which is very different from, the philodendrons that we've come to know, right? But yeah, this one looks like a palm tree, but I like that it's a philodendron. And next up is the only monstera on this list, which is the Monstera pinnatipartita, which is another kind of like palm looking plant, but a monstera. And what I like about this plant is that it's kind of like the deliciosa, but instead of having those holes on the leaves, this one is just fully fenestrated all the way until the midrib of the leaf, and also looks like a feather. So I love the looks. The price tag, not so much. It's a bit on the pricier end for my taste, but I'm hoping that by the time I go and purchase one, the prices have come down quite a bit. And next on the list is an asplenium. I have come to unexpectedly love ferns. I have been enjoying them a lot, even though some of my ferns are not really doing that well, particularly the ferns from the Pteris genus. I find them to be quite temperamental, and that is why I want an asplenium, or the bird's nest fern as they are commonly called, because they are just so much more resilient and undemanding as a plant, compared to other ferns, and they look pretty nice. Definitely want to try more ferns, and asplenium I think is the only way to go. We don't have a lot of other ferns available that are not very temperamental, so. And the 9th, 10th, and 11th on my list are carnivorous plants, which I have been interested in forever. I think everyone's introduction to carnivorous plants are Venus flytraps, right? But interestingly, Venus flytraps are not the one I'm looking for. Specifically, I want Nepenthes, Sarracenia, and a Drosera. I think these are far more interesting carnivorous plants and not as sensitive to like the Venus flytrap, I think. But the only thing that's keeping me from getting any of these plants is carnivorous plants really like pure, pristine water. Like, they cannot handle tap water, and here in Athens, where I live, water from the tap is very hard, so they're definitely not gonna make it. So I have to invest in some RO system, reverse osmosis. Unfortunately, unlike the US, here in Greece, we don't have distilled water sold at grocery stores, so that's not an option, unfortunately. And I have been wanting to get an RO system for a while now because I want it for my aquariums. Most aquatic plants also want a softer water, and lime scale on the aquarium glass is just unsightly and tedious to clean up. So until then. And next up is a Thaumatophyllum bipinnatifidum, or previously known as the Philodendron Hope or Salome. You guys, every day when I walk my dog Nikita, we pass this like an arts and crafts type of store, and they have this Thaumatophyllum right outside of their store, 24/7, 365. It doesn't matter in the heat of the summer or, in the dead of winter. Last year we had 2 snowstorms. This year we just had a snowstorm that concluded just yesterday, and that thing is outside and it's just living. A super resilient plant. I'm surprised. I really want this, and I think it's gonna be perfect on my balcony. And next on my list is a red Aglaonema. This is such a super chill plant. I stand by Aglaonemas, very undemanding, and it thrives even in low light. So I wanted something with a red variety. So just to get another easy plant, I think this is perfect. And next on my list is the one and only Alocasia. I had a bit of an Alocasia fever a few months back, and I almost bought a bunch of them. But I've learned that they are not the easiest plants to keep. They're not the most challenging, but thankfully I did not bite the bullet. I feel like I'm not ready for that kind of challenge just yet. But the only Alocasia I want is the Alocasia Stingray. I mean, need I say more? It is such a unique looking plant. The shape, looking like a stingray, is just fantastic. Truly, truly unique. And I have seen a photo where it can grow like this big, like the leaves can grow this big. Like, I want that. I want that. And next up are Calatheas. The only one I have right now is the rattlesnake Calathea, and I've been pleasantly surprised at how well it has been doing. I thought it would have died by now. I did hear that Calatheas are, a bit challenging because of their humidity requirements, so they're kind of hard to keep beautiful and thriving. But mine has been surprisingly chill. So I want to expand more into Calatheas. And the one I want is the Calathea makoyana, which I think is one of the easiest Calatheas out there. It's just a no-brainer to get a makoyana. And it's really pretty too, so yay. And the other Calathea is the Calathea mosaica, or network. Another unique looking plant. Like, just the patterning on its leaves doesn't exist on any other plant that I know of. It looks like a barcode to me, so I feel like there's some hidden cryptic message there that needs to be deciphered. And now we're into the epipremnums, the pothos. You just can't go wrong with pothos, and there is so many varieties. Like, it's such a super common plant, I know, and I don't care. But, some people think it's boring. I think it's a very fabulous plant, and they come in so many varieties as well. So the one that I really want to get is a Marble Queen pothos. I mean, I love the pattern of the variegation, how it's more pronounced, but it's not patchy. I already have the golden pothos and the Pearls in Jade. The Pearls in Jade looks kind of similar to the Enjoy. However, the Enjoy is more patchy, but I really want to get a Marble Queen. I'm not exactly including this in the list, but I have been thinking about this, but I can't quite make a decision if I like the Neon Pothos, because I don't know, some pictures have it looking a bit yellowish, some other pictures have it a bit more of a light green instead of a yellow. So any of you guys who have Neon Pothos, which is it? Is it more on the yellow side or just a light green side? Because if it's on the yellow side, then I don't want a Neon Pothos. Yellow leaves kind of trigger me. I don't like seeing yellow leaves, which is why I am undecided on the Neon Pothos. It's messing with my mind, man. I need to get to the bottom of this. Let me know, is it yellow or light green? And the next is the Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue, which it has this, you know, bluish hue on the leaves. It's also narrower instead of wide as opposed to the other Epipremnums. They can also get holes as they mature, which I like. And this one is extra special to me because it originates from my native country, so gotta represent. And the next two on my list are two ZZ plants. I love my ZZ plant. I have finally learned not to overwater it, so I definitely want to get more. And this time I want a ZZ Raven. I mean the black color. It's such a rare color to see in a plant. I just gotta have it. I love the color black, so it's perfect for my collection. And the other ZZ that I want is the Zenzi, which is like a miniature version of the regular ZZ plant. It's more compact and have these girthy stems. Super cute, I think. And next are Sansevieras. In my previous video, I was just doting on my Sanseviera trifasciata, which I adore so much, and so I want more Sansevieras. I really want to try a smaller Sanseviera, and particularly the Sanseviera Tiger Star. I'm specifically gravitating to this one because I like the light green patterning on the leaves. Among the smaller Sansevieras, I feel like this is the one that I am most vibing with. And next Sanseviera is the Cylindrica Straight cultivar, specifically because I like that it's upright. I'm not a big fan of the fan ones. And this is a Meteor Sanseviera. Like, they've got very chunky leaves. I like that it can be ornamental as well as be used as a weapon. So if anybody tries to burglarize my home or something, you know, I can use it to just like stab. Moving on, the next one I want is the Whalefin Sanseviera or Masoniana. I love me some wide leaf plants. I think it's an interesting addition to my Sanseviera collection, as well as the Sanseviera Moonshine, which at first I was a bit reluctant with the Moonshine. I feel like the photos I've seen don't do it justice. The other day I was watching a lot of like plant tour videos on YouTube, and several of them had highlighted the Sanseviera Moonshine, and when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, I'm sold. I want the Moonshine. The Moonshine. And next is not a plant per se, but more of a plant project, I guess. I really want a mini succulent garden. Just the other day, I was just for fun, just browsing at rental properties available on the market. And I came across one property that had this photo of the balcony, and they had this one photo with mini cacti garden. And I was like, yes, that is something I want, but with succulents. And I'm not sure yet with which succulents I want to put in there. I feel like I have to really research which succulents would go together, but definitely want to try that sometime this summer perhaps. Now I want to know what plans you guys want to get this 2023. I'm curious to find out if we are eyeing the same plants perhaps, so let me know down in the comments. And once again, I thank you for joining me today. Hit the like button if you liked the video, and subscribe if you have not yet, so you don't miss more plant videos from me. And I'll see you guys in the future. Take care. Bye.